What's up guys, this is Jim with Slim, and today I will be reviewing LEGO Star Wars set number 75290, the Mos Eisley Cantina. Part of the Master Builder series, this set features 3,187 pieces and a whopping 21 minifigures. In the US it retails for, well, another whopping $350. Now, taking a look at the front of the box, we have the characteristic black void box art that they feature on most of the 18 and up sets, although we do have a nice hint of the Tatooine suns, the two suns up in the upper right hand corner. And as usual with the 18 and up sets, they do have that awesome classy looking font in the upper left hand corner with a Tatooine little logo, as well as Star Wars, of course. Down below, 18 and up, set number, piece count, black greebling, your Disney logo, and it also has another black Star Wars logo down here, and it shows you everything you get in the set pretty much, although this is an exterior view. Moving in, because I had to sit way back from this, up top we have all of our 21 minifigures, including the actual size Garindin, the Imperial spy. Over on the right hand side of the box, there's not much going on except for, some multilingual inclusion and marketing. Over on the left hand side of the box, oh my goodness, do we have some amazing side box artwork. And then on the back, we have, the open up view of the set, as well as many of the features, including not only some dimensions over here, but also we have the actual Han and Greedo scene, where there's been a point of contention, a debate over whether Han or Greedo shot first. We have it recreated over here. We have some of the characters who you have seen in the background of the scene, as well as this cool little speeder that they decided to include, and which also, interestingly enough, appeared in Book of Boba Fett. But without further ado, let's get to that unboxing experience. Now for this box, they do not say which side to open first, so I'm going to go ahead and open the side with the side box artwork. Having cut the 3 pieces of tape, we can go on and open up. Not sure where that QR code is, but I should probably cover it. And we have inside the most bags of Lego I've ever seen in person in a single set. Not sure, there's also a box up in there. I'm gonna go ahead and get these out and we'll take a look at it. So in that box we had bags 10 through 18, which 18 has 3, no 18, it was 7, one of these had 3 bags. It was 14, number 14 has 3 bags, wow. And then a whole other box, which I'm assuming contains bags 1 through 9. Having cut and opened this box, we have our Dewback, missing his jaw. I'm assuming that's in one of these bags in here, which we're gonna go ahead and pour out onto the table. Also got our instruction booklet. So indeed we have bags 1 through 9. We have some duplicates in here. As well as our Dewback, this long piece of tubing, and this little bag that comes with a big plate, and then those pieces, not sure what they're called, but we got one thick boy of an instruction manual, just short of requiring a spiral binding, but we also have a nice little sticker sheet, and a surprisingly small amount of stickers for this set. It looks like most of them are actually for the vehicle builds. Now, when I picked this bad boy, look at how freaking tall this thing is. When I picked this bad boy up at the store, I had trouble carrying it because I had my kids with me. So, out of curiosity, let's see how much this thing weighs. A whole 10 pounds. But, it's a bit cumbersome, being that it is in such an interesting box. Very quick update. So I've built this speeder, which it has this very mature feel to it because it doesn't really have any play features. You have this place in the back for one person and the place in the cockpit for the pilot. but it just has this very sleek, mature design to it, which makes sense for an 18 and up set. But then also on to the next step, they give you a little bio for about who Wooher is, and it's not that much because they did it in 3 languages, so they could only fit so much text on the page. But it's just nice that they fit in that extra feature. I wish they'd told us about the Trandoshan, but they do explain that Wooher is the barman, which I think is a nice little touch. So as you can tell, we're towards nearing the end of the build. This is like bag 18. And I realized when I went to grab this that I had forgotten to put the cape on this guy. And then I was wondering why. So I look here at the instructions. We have this, which makes sense. We actually see it does tell you put on the cape, then put on the head. But then over here, no cape. Obviously no cape. That's an error because over here you can see the cape. So I'm gonna blame the manual, this step, as well as the fact that I was busy talking to my wife, so I was distracted and forgot about the cape. Alright, y'all, there we have it. Chalmun's Cantina, aka the Mos Eisley Cantina, what many may regard as the ultimate LEGO Star Wars playset. But before we get into this expansive, detailed build, let's take a look at them, their minifigures. Now, taking a look, we have possibly one of the most impressive and one of the most expansive minifigure selections of any LEGO Star Wars playset. Starting from the left, we have Farm Boy Luke, who has, his typical smiling face, and then a bit more, serious concerned face. Here we go. A bit more concerned face. We have Obi-Wan with his hood on, even though when he's in the cantina, he does not have his hood on. He has a smiling face, and that's it. That's it. He has a smiling face and the newer hood piece. Moving along, we have C-3PO, R2-D2, Han Solo with his classic Han Solo grin. He has his classic Han Solo grin, and he has a more concerned face, probably the one he faces Greedo with. I'm not going to point out every detail of printing on these guys because we have way too many minifigures. I'm not going to waste a bunch of time on that. We have Chewbacca, who seems to be pretty much the same Chewbacca we've been getting. We have a couple of sand troopers who are very detailed. They have their pauldron. They have the sand all over their armor, even including on their helmets. They have these backpacks. Disconnect their backpacks fairly easily and see the nice printing with even sand on their backs. We have a sand trooper squad leader. We have a regular sand trooper. We have 3 Bith musicians. The only difference between the 3 of them being the instruments. We have Wooher the bartender. Wooher also has an angry face on the back, which is probably when he's yelling at the droids to get out. We have our classic first Rodian that we ever see in the series, Greedo. We have Ponda Baba, Dr. Evazan, Labria, our first ever Davronian as far as I know. We have Herchek Kalfas, Trandoshan. We have Moman Nadan. We have either Kabe or Cabe. We have a nameless Jawa, as well as Garindin, our Imperial Snitch. Now, as we take a look at the exterior, it is worth noting that over on the front of the cantina, we do have another non-minifigure, a big fig actually, the Dewback, and you can actually remove not only his reins, but you can also remove his saddle. So I'm going to go ahead and remove the entire saddle. Apparently I'm going to remove the Dewback as well. So you can go ahead and remove the saddle, and I did use one of the random clips on the side to hold this Sand Trooper's blaster, and you'll notice these extra pieces it came with, which are the Dewback's actual back, in case when you have him over here in his pen, maybe you don't want to have anyone riding him, you want him just relaxing. Another thing to note about this very detailed big fig, very much printing on him, as well as the fact that his mouth opens and he has teeth, printed teeth inside, which is very nice added detail. Nothing on the top, but the bottom jaw does have those teeth. Trying to remove these back panels by hand, they come apart, and you may want to enlist the aid of a handy dandy brick separator if you do want to remove these parts. I've never actually put them on until now. It's worth noting with the Dewback that when you set him in his pen, his mouth won't be able to stay open because there's just not enough clearance between his mouth and the trough, and that is pretty much the optimal place to put him. Taking a look at the Dewback's pen itself, you'll notice it is rather detailed. You have multiple levels of the sand. You also have the watering trough, which contains a bone, and some trans blue tiles on top of a white plate representing the water. It also has one of these metallic rings on the side, which are present on the front of the cantina. Great for mounting your Dewback or whatever steed you may ride into town. Taking a look back to the left, we have a moisture evaporator, one of two different built moisture evaporators contained in the set. And moving around to the front, looking behind our Stormtrooper commander, you'll see the front door. It was noted the instructions that the door in the movie opens from side to side, but this one opens upwards, which honestly I cannot complain about. I feel like this is more Star Wars-y, opening up and down. You also have a stickered Arabish sign, as well as a stickered control panel. Continuing along in front of the cantina, we have this speeder, which does not seem to be officially named in the manual as far as I can recall, but I do believe it is Greedo's speeder. If you open up the top hatch and take a look inside, but first of all, on the outside, there's all these stickered details. And on the inside, we have a simple control panel, not too much space. Our other side build vehicle is the V35 Land Speeder, which is the first time we've actually received this as a Lego set. And taking a look at source material, from what I can tell, this cockpit is the windshield is a bit oversized. But taking a look inside, you can see they have a stickered panel, which seems to be the view out the front, which seems to indicate that why would they have that? If they have such a big windshield, maybe it's supposed to go so fast that maybe that's a better view. Maybe that's the backup camera. Who knows? But over here, we were told to put her check how fast, say that 5 times fast, into this area, which has a sticker control panel. We have sticker details on the side. These details are just completely built in to the build. More sticker details around the front. And then on the back, more sticker details, of course. On the back, we have the engines, which are looking really nice. Very solid build. Looks very good in front of our cantina. Our other side builds are the two buildings, the Jawa shop and the little Jawa hut. So let's go ahead and detach those from the main building, which is easy to do. You just separate those clips. Looking at the hut, we have what appears to be an engine in front. You've got all these nice details, grills, ventilation, smokestacks, chimneys, etc. More details on the top, some fans, obviously ventilation. This nice wide open doorway with a control panel. There is no operable door, so I guess it's just kind of implied that one exists. You have what appears to be an air conditioner on the outside as well. Over here you got a lot of various sundry, an Imperial crate with a zipline type of zipline handle. You have this piece, which is also included in Boba Fett's throne room. And you have a rack with a couple of parts on it. Moving around the front, we have this canopy, which if you're touching it, it may be easy to accidentally remove, but it's not an issue as long as you're not playing with it. And this is an 18 and up set, so most likely you're just going to be displaying it. It's nothing too crazy. Moving along down, we have the Jawa inside, whom in this lighting is a little difficult to see, so I'm going to go ahead and detach the building so that I can hold it up to the light. You can see our little Jawa shop attendant inside. Moving along this side, not much going on. Moving around the back, we have this doorway where I like to keep my Imperial spy hiding out. Gorinden just chilling in the back, sneaking around, looking for those droids. The door opens the same way. All the doors in the set open upwards and click into place, as you can see. Very simple mechanism to do so, but very effective. The other thing this shop can do is not only can you open up the top, which doesn't give you too much access, but you can unclip this and just open it right on up. So inside we have, just a little broom. This is what the door looks like from the inside. That's the piece that clicks into place. It's not visible. They actually obscured the piece it connects to. Over here we have, I thought this was loosely connected, but that's just how it is. We also have a little clip for our Jawa blaster, clear cup, and a crate with a wrench in it. Now this stool is shown to be kind of off center, similar to this, but I find that it's easier to keep in place if it's just there. Either way is for show, because Jawas are those short minifigures with the short legs that do not bend, so they are just for show. But you can see that this vented piece is part of the hinge, which is very nice detail on our hinge. They try to obscure the hinges and just make them look good overall. Taking a look at the inside of our little hut attached to the shop, you can see we have a little cooking area, a lot of tools, old school Lego chainsaw up here. We have a backpack with another one of those zipline handle pieces, and in here in the dark you can actually remove the roof. You can actually remove both roof sections fairly easily, although that one seems a bit redundant. Not sure why you'd want to do that. But looking down in here, we have what appears to be a kyber crystal, as well as a crowbar in that dark little corner there. Nothing in the barrel in front of it. Having taken a look at all the front exterior bits, we can move around to the back of the cantina. There's not too much going on. There's another one of those moisture evaporators. There's, whatever the heck this is supposed to be. Some sort of probably water tank or something. And here we have a detachable crate which contains a pair of binoculars. These are fairly common and present throughout the entire set. And this crate have some, what do we have? We have another wrench. Nothing too crazy. Detachable crate. We have another Imperial crate over here containing a small pair of binoculars. We have this vent looking piece and an empty barrel. These levers will come into play as we look at the interior, so let's move on to that. Now there are a few ways to access the interior of this build. Obviously you can open the doors and have your minifigures walk through, although it's a very small space to access. These domes do open up. You can see down inside you got your little waiting area and an overhanging lamp. Over under this dome we have our back room, which we'll get a better look at when we go around here. It's not too much to see back there. They did note that this is never shown in any source material, so they took creative liberties of saying what would be in the back room of the cantina. Over on the back here we have that little control panel, and then there's nothing to see really on this side other than some hinges. A little bit of detailing is nice. But the other ways to access the interior, obviously you want to lift off this roof piece It just sits there. Each of these little roof pieces pops off so you can look down and put your hands down in there, lift out, or insert your minifigures. These corner ones lift up in a similar fashion. This is a very small booth. I'm sure they had to fit the actual shape of the cantina in the show, or the, not show, but actually the movies. This one is a bit more difficult to lift off if you're lifting the wrong way. You have the large booth where Luke and Obi-Wan sit down with Han and Chewie and barter passage off the planet. An empty booth over here. Over here, I have Moma Madan. But the other more interesting way of accessing the interior is opening the set up. So you can easily open up the set. I'm going to turn mine around. You can see this over here is just barely connected by this Technic snap pin, as well as this clip which connects to that right there, and it just swings right open. Very cool feature, very cool design. Got your cantina interior. Now over here we have that little entry area where I have R2-D2 and C-3PO trying to enter, but unfortunately Wooher is not having it. They do not serve their kind here. We have Luke with his lightsaber out, which mainly for me, that's just for storage, just not for accuracy. Going over here, and he's about to trigger that iconic scene where he's about to get in trouble with Dr. Evazan and Ponda Baba. You know, you can take a look at the booths from here. I can remove the top so we get a bit more light in there. Or the tops of each booth. They've got some nice details. So something I like is that around the front over here, we have this little alcove. And then in here, they make it so it's not an ugly feature at all. Like, it really blends into the build. You know, you can see in all the different booths. This one is unique in that it has the slope support beams in it. Now we have our Daveronian over here. He was at the bar along with Ponda Baba and Dr. Evazan just trying to get a drink. Although, as we know, these two are looking for trouble. Looking behind the bar itself, you know, we have a little cash register type area, although this drawer only has a couple of bones in it. It's supposed to be one, but I put the extra one in there as well. You know, we got a little crate presumably for dirty glasses and mugs. In the center, we have a lot of cool details, you know, with some of those metallic chrome-like pieces to form the apparatus in the middle of the bar. We got Wooher over here telling them, pesky droids, we don't serve your kind here, as I said. Then we've got Obi-Wan over here off to make a deal, and inaccurate to the scene, we have Han facing Greedo. You know, we can lift off these roof pieces as well to get some better lighting in there. The cool feature about this booth that Han and Greedo are sitting in is that those pieces I pointed out on the outside are actually levers, and you can reenact the scene where Han shoots Greedo, or if you want to change it up, you could have Han get shot by Greedo, but for our purposes, we're going to show Han sneakily shoots Greedo, pow, and that's about as far as Greedo goes. Interestingly enough, I think Han actually launched further when I tried with him. You just get it, well, maybe not this time, but you get a bit of better leverage if you're a right-handed person with the seat that Han's sitting in. But also in front, we have Chewbacca over here with his custom bowcaster stud shooter. Probably the best stud shooter I've ever seen in Lego. Don't at me. But he's just over here keeping a lookout as Han negotiates with Greedo, but he's also over here at the bar. You know, in the movie, actually, Chewbacca had gone off to, I believe, with Luke and Obi-Wan to go show them the Millennium Falcon. Over here, we also have Cabe trying to get Wooher's attention, you know. It says that, you know, she makes these bat noises to get his attention. Meanwhile, behind her, we have the Bith musicians who probably aren't helping her case, as they do seem to be getting it in, laying down those sick beats. Over to her right, we have another view of that back room, where if we open up the dome, we can get a slightly better view. It's really hard to see. Flipping the camera around, we can see, you know, they got a broom, some bottles, you know, some spirits down below. We have another one of those white binoculars that seem to be ever present. This is, everything's removable and falls off pretty easily. In here, let's see if this was even, yes, we have some more spirits. Definitely not a vial of coaxium or anything. Now for my display, I have a couple of options. You know, either I can have it in the open up position where it's just basically spread all the way across to here, or I can keep it in its closed position, have this nice little Tatooine display. The only thing I had to do is, as you can see, this is up against the wall. I had to take off the back exterior build for the cantina, and it actually fits pretty nicely, just and looks good right behind the shop, as long as I'm not tearing off any of the crates by accident. But it looks really good behind the shop. You know, you got this nice little Tatooine area. So final impressions. This set is absolutely phenomenal, and really I thought I'd have a bit more to say about it. I mean, there are just so many little details. Really, it took me a long time to build, which is great. For $350, I do expect to be getting many hours of build time, and it is very, very fun to build. I mean, the first thing you build is this V35 Land Speeder, and it just has this great feel to it. You know, you can compare it to Luke's Land Speeder, you know, which goes great and displayed near this set as well. But then you have, you know, the rest of the cantina, you know, you get 2 vehicles with it, which is great. You know, they gave us the cantina, and they didn't even have to, but they gave us just more to put around it so it can feel like, yeah, the cantina, that's on Tatooine, you know. This is a location. This is a location set. It doesn't have this quite the same feel, you know. It actually feels a bit better than, you know, this is a little crowded over here, but, you know, even Boba Fett's palace, you know, Boba Fett's throne room, it's just like, it feels like, you know what's missing. But with this, it's like, there is nothing missing. I mean, it is scaled down a bit, where the Bith musician, they could have included some more to have the complete band, and they would have had to expand the stage, which feels unnecessary, though. It's like, 3 seems to be enough. And just everything about it is great in terms of displayability. It's fun to play with, you know. For $350, the 18 and up label, it's like, yeah, it recommends you be 18 and up, but mainly it's more like, you don't have to be 18 to buy it. They are saying it's an 18 and up playset because they're saying this is not your $100 kiddie play set, where it's like, yeah, it's good, but it's missing this, and that. This gives you the feel that the few things it is missing in terms of accuracy, you don't even feel like they're missing, really. You just feel like this is one phenomenal set. It's beautiful. It's fun to look at. And as an adult, you know, as an adult collector, it's fun to just pose your characters in many different ways. You know, I have my way I like to pose them, and, you know, everyone might have a different way, whether it's more accurate to the scene or just a little more fun, a little more quirky. You can do so much with this. Now, being at that $350 price point, I can understand if some people might have to save up for a set like this. You know, this basically costs as much as this and this, and what's a $30 play set? Probably I believe the AAT was $30. So, but for that, you get a fun long build. You get so many different unique and exclusive minifigures, which, we've all heard Lego say unique exclusive minifigures should not be locked behind a huge paywall. But in this case, it feels acceptable because it's not that big of a paywall. It's $350. That's very reasonable. So if I were to rank this set, I would give it an absolute 10 out of 10 on displayability. You have different options. You have this option. You have the open option that shows more of the interior. You could, if you want, you could open these domes up. You can take the roof pieces off, get a bit more light and a bit more visibility. You've got so many options, and just, it looks great from pretty much every angle. Even this side over here where it's got nothing going on. Looks good. I'd definitely also give it a 10 out of 10 on playability. The play features, it doesn't have like a bunch of stud shooters and spring loader shooters. It's not a vehicle. You've got it's a location. You've got the feature where Han and Greedo can have their shootout. You've got 3 doors on this set that open up. Got a lot of accessibility. Roofs come off. Buildings swing open. There's really not much to be desired here. I'm also going to have to give them a 10 out of 10 on Minifigures Selection. Well, actually, scratch that. I think Minifigures Selection is the one category where I'm going to have to give them a 9 out of 10, because for this price point, we should get Greedo with arm printing. We should have some dual molded legs somewhere. We should have top tier characters, as we did with the betrayal at Cloud City. But with all that being said, let me know what you guys think. Have you picked up this set? Is this on your bucket list to pick up? Is this one that you feel is worth saving up for? After having watched my review, have I influenced you to want this set? So slide on down, smash that like and subscribe button if you like this content, and let me know in the comments what you think. Also in the description, I am going to be posting an affiliate link. If you do actually want to get this set, I haven't seen it on sale yet, and it may never go on sale, but by clicking the affiliate link and purchasing it there, you don't pay anything extra. It'll ship right to your house, and you're actually helping support the channel, helping support me to bring you this great content that I'm hoping you all enjoy. But with all that being said, this is Jim to the Slim, signing out.
Dankeschön, wir sind die Cantina-Band. Wenn ihr Songwünsche habt, ruft sie einfach. Spielt denselben Song nochmal. Alles klar, denselben Song und los!